Hey guys, Jeff with Westcott Designs. So we're gonna walk in manufacturing here. I'm gonna show you guys around, show you some of the things we do here. You know, everybody has choices on what they decide they wanna purchase for their products for their vehicles. And we always talk about this, and I try to be very clear that most people don't know my background, but I worked for Toyota for the last 20 years prior to starting this business with my wife. And I saw a need for some of the things that we did, or we do, and a lot of other things that were out there that I saw were really bad parts and stuff that shouldn't have been put on vehicles. And so that is what really made me decide to start our business. And what we do is I saw just such a need for good quality parts. And that's what we built our brand around. Yesterday, we did a little video over in our lift shop talking about some of our products. Now we're over here across the parking lot at manufacturing. And then we'll do another video today, this afternoon, that's going to take place on our CNC shop and our shipping and receiving. But I just want to show you some of the things that go into what we do. And that when somebody decides to purchase something from Westcott Designs, they're giving jobs to all these people, and they're taking a small business and helping that small business here in the US stay alive. And so it's all of you that make it possible for these guys to have jobs, for myself and my wife and my family to be able to do what we enjoy doing and what we love to do. So I'm going to take you through the shop. I'm going to show you some of the things going on here, and I'm going to show you what makes, as we feel, what makes our quality nicer than some of the other stuff that's out there in the marketplace. There are some things that we definitely do that other companies don't do, and I know that for a fact because we get a hold of a lot of other companies' products, and when we look at them and we analyze them, we see where the downfalls are on some of those, and then some of the things that we've seen over the years and that I've seen over the years when I did work for Toyota on things for failure. So I'm going to take you around. We'll head in the shop here. It's going to get a little noisy, but hopefully you guys can hear me. So come on in. So this is the final stage of production here. Aaron here is inspecting every part that we have before it leaves the shop here and goes out the back door and goes over to powder coat. But Aaron's checking for flaws, for pinholes, for spots that don't get welded properly. You can see here just some of the welds and some of the welds down the back here. This is a TIG welded rock slider. And as you can see on all the tubing here, we polish every piece of tubing before we ever even touch it, before we even bend it. And we do that we want to get all the oils off the surfaces. So when we do weld on all these areas, that when we weld to them, we don't get any contamination in the welds. And when you get oil in the weld is not as strong. So our guys, I won't tell you they're a bunch of prima donnas, but they are to the point where they will not weld something unless the middle surface is extremely clean. We also clean inside the tubing, and I'll share that with you as well, but we clean inside the tubing so we don't get any oils out into the tubing. But this one is going through final inspection. Actually, all the stuff's going through final inspection. These are a set of TIG welded DOM 0 degree with top plate rock sliders, but we take our quality to a whole different level for when we build stuff. And you can just see here, this is raw. This is, I mean, I wish we could still offer them in the clear coats just to show how nice they are. We even brush finish all the flat surfaces, so when we weld it, there's no contaminants even on that part of the slider. Thanks, Aaron, thank you. So this is our laser. This is our current laser. It's been our current laser for the last 4 years. Basically what we have here is a sheet that just came out. There's another sheet you can see back in here that came out as well, or that's going right now. This is running our visors right now for our roof racks. We cut a lot of aluminum, we cut a lot of steel, but this is our current laser. It can't keep up with the demand that we have right now with our company. So we have invested in this new laser over here that's going in. This is a 10K Bystronic 10K fiber laser with full automation. So what's going to happen here is when we're not here at night, this laser is going to run itself while we're gone. This laser is 7 times as fast as our current laser. This is going to allow us here at Westcott Designs to be able to basically do other companies' stuff. We are going to private label for other companies here. We've already been approached by many companies here at Westcott. We've decided we're going to move forward with that because we know that our production, in the next couple months, we should be able to get caught up with our own stuff. And so people know the quality that we drive on here at our company. and they know what we look for, and they want the same thing that we want. And so they came to us and said, hey, would you be willing to make our parts? I said, absolutely. So that's what we're planning to do. I'm not going to discriminate on whose parts I make or we make here at the company, but we're going to make other companies' parts. Super cool. We've been working on this truck here. This truck is the head of engineering for Toyota Corporation. Here we're in Arizona. This truck was shipped out here from Michigan, but this is head of engineering. So the highest level of engineering from Toyota, this is his personal truck. So we're mocked up and we built up a front bumper here on it right now. This is all TIG welded, or excuse me, MIG welded on this. It's all DOM tubing, but you can see our MIG welds. We really focus on our welds. That's one of the things we're known for, is our welds. And I'm going to share with you some of the guys that work here that make that all possible. Here's a set of 15-degree rock sliders that we built custom for his truck as well. We've got Donnie right here. Donnie is actually fitting up how we're going to make the opening for the exhaust out the side. We finally have come up with that. That's the final result right there. We're going to build a really nice billet bezel for the outside, custom exhaust tubing in. It'll all be mandrel bent. It'll all be TIG welded. It'll be really, really nice when this is done. But we built these rock sliders just because we want to make this truck special. Thanks, Donnie. Thank you. So this has been quite a project. I'll give you an example. This mezzanine that this is all being built on, we designed that here at the shop. We made every single part of it. We designed every single part of it, but it's going to utilize what we need it for to hold all the dust collector and then the power source that's on top of this. But this just shows to the level of what we do around here. We take things to a whole new level. I mean, there aren't many people that come in and throw welds down like this just to build a structure around their laser. These are the beds that will go in the laser. From the time it stops to the time it starts again, there's only 40 seconds delay. So it is super, super fast. So we have Mike over here. Mike is running the laser currently right now. You can see he's running roof rack sides. He's filling out orders right here. And when we talk about polishing tubing, that is what's taking place right here, is polishing tubing. All of our tubing comes in with scaling on it. And like I said, we take the tubing, we polish all the scaling off of it. So when we weld on it, there's no contaminants in the weld. And it makes the weld that much stronger. And when we talked about top plates, the top plates, how we put that brush finish on them, that's what's going on here. We've got Bailey here doing some touch up on some of these are the flat grates that go on the tops of the roof rack. So he's doing some slight touch up on them, and now they're going through the time saver. So these will all be grained. Do they need to be grained? Absolutely not. Do we grain them and put a nice finish on them before we go and sandblast them? Yes, those are extra steps that we take when we're doing stuff. And you can see them coming out the other side over here. We've got Cornell over here. Cornell is running the press brake. This is a 180-ton press brake with a 10-foot bed on this. And we have this laser that goes across here, so we can make sure that every single bend, every single time, is bent to scale. And that's a back brake there, so when he sets it up on there, he knows that it's bending in the proper place every single time. And then we have all of our drawings right here, so we can make sure, and the gauge to make sure that everything's correct every single time. So we check all this stuff. You can see he's doing these right now. And then it has everything, the bend coordinates and everything right here on the machine. These are some of our smaller machines. We use these for a little touch-up stuff. Basically, if we need to trim something, do a small bend on something, we do that stuff here. So these, and then if we need to cope a piece of tubing, a touch-up piece of tubing, we cope it here, and then we have another coper over there. But most of the stuff is all coped on the laser. So these are pretty much, these machines are used for just one-off prototyping for small parts. All this tubing here is our tubing racks for our rock sliders. So we're trying to do is, these racks are normally full, but what we're trying to do is get inventory on the shelf to get ready for Black Friday. And so that's part of why we're doing this, is to share with you what makes Westcott a little different than other companies, or maybe why you decide to choose Westcott over another company. We don't want to sugarcoat anything here. We want to show you the facts. We want to show you what makes us what we are, what we're able to provide for these people that work here, their families, and also for our consumers that are out there. So we'll walk around here. I'm just going to grab a couple pieces of tubing right here. I'm going to use this as an example. So this is done on the laser. You can see the coping on it's really nice. This is just a small example. If I take this piece of tubing and I butt this piece of tubing up to that piece of tubing, you can see the gap all the way around this piece of tubing is exactly the same. And the reason for that is when we go in here and we weld this, we're using the same amount of heat and the same amount of weld all the way around, so it keeps the heat consistent. So when we're welding on this piece of tubing, it doesn't make it weaker in one spot or stronger in one spot, so we're able to keep equal amount of pressure and equal amount of heat around here when we weld these things. So it makes it, and you can see, like we talked about, you can see how the inside of this has all been cleaned out. So when we weld, there's no contaminants that actually get in the weld, or no oils get pulled from the inside of the tubing to the outside of the tubing. We have all these guys that specialize in one area or another back here. You can see right here, these are another set of our TIG welded sliders that Cam's welding up here. And you can just see the welds here. So these are getting capped. So these are getting final pass on these. They come through, they weld them once, they come back through and they weld them again. So they're out of the fixtures at this point because they don't need to be in fixtures. They were in fixtures from start all the way till the weld was done, and now they're going back and doing the detail welds to make sure that when those customers receive those, that they're just at that level. You can see here's a fixture for one of them. This is called an outer fixture. So everything is clamped in these fixtures, and it's to make sure that everything stays consistent from start to finish. So it's tacked together now. It'll go back through, it'll get a one through weld on it, and then they'll go back and they'll do a cap pass. We've got Vinny over here. You can see his sliders are still in the fixture as of right now. I'll walk you through here. This is kind of our welding area. We've got 11 full-time welders, and like I said, they're super skilled guys. We're very blessed to have these kind of people working here at our shop. They live for this. This is their life, and I'm going to show you just some of the guys' stuff that's going on here. Right here, he's going through, he's cap passing everything. So the outers have already been welded. So that's first pass for weld, and then he's going to go back in and they're going to weld over the top to cap pass this. So it'll be welded twice. But another good example here. This is not anything for our products. This is strictly for stands to hang our rock sliders on. So when we're transporting them over to our powder coat shop, which is 2 doors down from us, you can see here just how nice the welds are, and this has all been MIG welded. Do we need to weld it that good? No, but that's just how the guys weld. You can see right here through the center here. The fixture tables. We custom build every one of these fixture tables for these guys to weld on. We make sure that the surface is 100% flat. All the bolt holes are tapped in here. So when we bolt to them, we're able to keep everything flat. There's a lot of companies that do not use fixtures, but we use fixture tables. And then these are the drawings that we produce to build our stands with. We've got Jack here. Jack is MIG welding some of our sliders. Obviously hasn't on the backside there, but he's got him clamped down on one of his fixtures for one of the processes of his MIG weld. We've got Jaime here. You can see he just finished welding one of the outers out here. He's working another outer on his bench here. And a lot of these guys, when I talk about how good they are, Rob here has come from the race car industry and built trophy trucks for the last 10 years. And so we have 3 guys that came from the trophy truck industry, and that's what they specialize, is just building high-end stuff. And Rob obviously used to build the chassis and the control arms for a company called Geyser Brothers that builds high-end trophy trucks, $1 million trucks. So this is our shop back here. We cut all of our gussets here. We have everything here. We've got all of our fixtures laid out here for every different configuration for our rock sliders. Over here, we have all of our tubing and bins, so it's available for these guys to start with. We've got Blake here, he's finishing up, just doing some touch up. And this is an outer, or actually it's a full complete rock slider for a new Tundra. I'll walk up through here. This is our design studio up here. We do all of our designing right here. Every single thing we design it in-house. This is our design studio. We have 2 full-time CAD engineers that are here in our office. They're not here at the second, but they're here at the building doing something else. But this is what they do, is they design parts for us all the time. And then some of our shop supplies, we keep them out here. Sandpapers, abrasives, everything. Different things that we test from different companies, things we put pressure tests on and different things. One of our roof racks that we're doing some other testing on right now. And so these are the things and why we do what we do here at Westcott. Now you guys out there, some of the things we talk about, those are your decisions on what you decide on, which is good quality or bad quality. But I tried to show you some of the things what makes our company a little bit different than some of the other companies that are out there. So we hope that maybe those things, we're going to do another video down in our CNC shop and our shipping and receiving. We want to share some of these with you. We'd love to hear from you. Hopefully that shows you just kind of the attention to detail that we do here at Westcott Designs. Thank you guys for watching.